Hi, Doug McCon of RealityMe.net here. RealityMe.net's down right now. I got some malware on the site. Don't have time to deal with it. I just took it down. When I was 11 years old, I wanted to get into ham radio. Dad had a CB radio. I liked radios. I liked little walkie-talkies. Wanted to get into it. This is a Baofeng RD-5R right there. Most of the time you see the RD-5R, you might see the military cosplay people wearing one here, and they look a little shorter because that's the regular size. I got an extended battery, and that can be charged with a little port right here on the side so that I can charge it without having to drop it in that charger base. And this has served me really well. This went up to the Boundary Waters where we canoed on the border of Canada for 9 days. And all but one day I was able to hit a repeater with this to actually be able to talk to the outside world if we needed to. And plus it gave us the weather, which was really nice to know what the weather was. So there's all kinds of things you can do with ham radio. It's a lot of fun. There's social nets where you get just like on the computer or out in the public, lunchtime or something, everybody gets together and talks for an hour. And it's good for emergency communications, all kinds of stuff like that. This is Part 97 compliant. Maybe at one point in time the RD-5R wasn't, so you'll see information about that's an illegal radio. It's actually a very inexpensive entry-level radio for people who get into ham radio. This is not a bad way to start. Then, you learn about the hobby, then you go, oh, there's this other stuff. Like, this is a 2-band radio. It does 2 meters and 70 centimeters. My license allows me to do 1.25 meters, and I have some privileges on 10 meters and 6 meters, and others. But this radio is limited to 2 meters and 70 meters. I didn't know that. I didn't know what I didn't know. So why spend hundreds of dollars on a radio to find out I didn't know I needed this other one? You get something like this, you get into the hobby, and you learn about it. One of the things this doesn't do, this is an analog radio. It doesn't do digital mobile communications, DMR, digital mobile radio. So, good friend of mine, Radioddity, a website that sells cheap Chinese radios. Actually, I'm going to take that back. I got one of their radios for GMRS, which is a different radio service. Doesn't require the level of technical knowledge as amateur. You could just pay $70. Yeah, the fee's going to go down to $35 eventually, but you pay $70, and it's a 10-year license. $7 a year, and your entire family can use your license on GMRS. And I got a little Radioddity GM30 radio. I should have had it to show you, but what a fantastic, it feels good in the hand. It's a good quality radio. I have one issue with the screen already, but they had a contest. It was their 9th anniversary. They said, get a radio for your friend. My good friend put me into the contest. Wrote some very nice words. Oh, so nice. And Radioddity picked me as one of the people to receive an RD-5R. So this is upside down. RD-5R. This is Radioddity's DMR radio. And they put it in a Baofeng format. So it's going to look very much like this, except that it does analog and digital. It is 2-band, so it does the 2 meters and the 70 centimeters. And inside of it, you'll see it looks very much like this. Matter of fact, all the parts for this can go on here. I can take this extended battery and put it on here. I can take this antenna and put it on here. And this is the Baofeng, this is the Radioddity. This is analog only. This is analog and DMR, digital. This is going to be very, very exciting to use. Basically, the way digital mobile radio works is you take the frequency you're broadcasting on, and just like your cell phone, which sends packets of information, little ones and zeros, analog, it's like a record player. I speak into this, it modulates my voice, which means on the wave, there's some ups and downs and ons and offs, and on the other end, the other radio demodulates it, takes that wave and turns it back into sound. With a digital audio a digital mobile radio, instead of being a waveform, technically someone's going to get on my case about that. Yes, radio is always waveforms, but technically it's sending bits and bytes. So it's sending ones and zeros, so it can get through the noise a lot better. And one of the benefits is the channel that you're on is divided into time slots. So you might fall into time slot 1 while someone else falls into time slot 2. Because of the bandwidth that you send the digital signal on, you can actually fit 2 conversations into the same broadcast, more or less. So maybe maybe person A is talking to person B, and person C is talking to person D at the same time. So really, really neat technology. Let's see what else is in the box. So inside the box, and it talks about all the stuff you can do: police, wide range, and a bunch of marketing terms. Emergency, of course, everybody loves to talk about radios and emergencies. But the thing of it is, if you have one of these and haven't practiced it, haven't learned how to truly use it, it's going to be useless to you in an emergency. You've got to learn some radio protocol. You've got to learn how to get the signal out when there's not a repeater available, when there's not a power source available. You've got some education to do. Never turn it on, never transmit without an antenna. Here's the battery. It just slides on. Nice solid looking battery. It's actually a little bit bigger than your standard RD-5R battery. It is it's only 1800 milliamps, so, but it's got a little bit bulk there. That feels good in the hand. Also in the box is instruction manual. Let's look through that. Not bad. Not a bad manual at all. Also in the box is an antenna. That's important. And that's a neat looking antenna. All your antennas are going to have your antenna. You probably can't see that information in there. So this one says it's FM 136 to 174, which is the 2 meter band, and 400 to 520 megahertz, which is the 70 centimeter band. So it's probably tuned to 2 meter and harmonically tuned to 70 centimeters. And then you just kind of put it down on here. Now you have, and it's got a little bit of flex to it. Good feeling radio. It's got a battery, probably has a little bit of a charge on it. So it comes right up and says, welcome RD-5R, little beeping tone. It's in VFO, which is the variable frequency oscillator, and MR is a memory recall. So if you wanted to program in some channels, they've got the display set to the frequency on either one. Anyhow, it works. Oh, what else do we have? Charging base, of course, so when you go to charge it, it slips in there. You'll notice the batteries have 3 slots, your charging base has 2. This is positive, negative. The third one's temperature monitoring. So if you get a fancier charging base, it'll make your batteries last longer by making sure it doesn't overheat. Little belt clip that you screw onto the back. There's 2 screws you have to physically unscrew. It's got a wrist strap. Nice. Comes with a programming cable. A lot of times these are like $15 extra. Cheap earpiece. It works. Probably not going to work great. And of course your power supply. You've been listening to Doug. I'm having fun on the radio. Need to get some more people in my family to be licensed for these things so that they can play with them too. Got a whole new world to explore with DMR. You've been listening to Doug.